7 living room trends you're gonna hate in 1 year. What if I told you that right now, there are living room trends I'm watching homeowners commit to that I would not commit to myself if I was renovating my own home this year? Some of these mistakes I've already had to undo for clients in the last 12 months. Some of them are about to become exactly that. One of these 7, it's gonna land harder than the others because it's not a furniture choice or a paint color you can easily swap out. It's a structural design being built into renovations right now that's going to feel completely wrong by the time the homeowner is ready to sell. And the cost? Well, $50,000 to undo it when buyers fall into that trap. Let's get into it. Number 1, the oversized cloud sofa. The cloud sofa, the deep, plush, marshmallow style seating that took over Instagram in 23, 24, and a little bit of 25. This is exactly the kind of trend that looks irresistible in a styled photo and falls apart super fast in a real-life living room. Designers are now openly calling these out. Christopher Budelet, a Washington, D.C. designer, described them as the design equivalent of a sugar rush. His exact issue is that they overwhelm everything around them and blur the architectural lines of a room until everything reads as one soft shape. That's the contractor's problem that I have with them too. A living room is supposed to have visual structure, anchor points, lines that help the eye understand the space. When the sofa is oversized, it dominates every sight line. The room stops feeling designed and starts feeling consumed. The cost reality is, well, it's noted. A premium cloud-style sofa can cost you anywhere from $4,000 to $12,000. That's a significant piece of furniture committing to a trend that's already, well, past its point. What's replacing it? Sleeker, more refined silhouettes with visible legs, defined lines, and proportions that work with the architecture of a room rather than swallowing it. Number 2, color-drenched single-hue rooms. We talked about this a while ago, and in the comments, you said that this wouldn't last. And I want to be careful here because I've talked positively about color drenching. And I think it's a strong move when it's done right. But the version that's about to age badly is the monochromatic single-hue version where walls, trim, ceiling, and sometimes furniture are all the exact saturated color. The data is already showing this. House Digest 2026 trend analysis specifically called out that monochromatic color-drenched rooms tend to look dated much faster than rooms with layered tones. The shift happening right now is toward what designers are calling color blocking, which uses multiple complementary shades within the same family rather than committing the entire room to one note. My read on this as a contractor is straightforward. Paint, well, it's the cheapest decision in any renovation, but it does set the tone for everything else. A room drenched in a single saturated burgundy or forest green looks striking on day 1, but month 18, it reads a room that was painted at the peak of a trend rather than a room that was thought through. The version that holds up uses a deep tone on 3 walls, a related but lighter tone on the 4th and the ceiling, and the trim that's a 3rd coordinated tone rather than matched to either. Same time, same labor cost, significantly betters the aging. Number 3, fully matched furniture sets. The matched living room set, sofa, love seat, coffee table, and end tables all from the same collection in the same finish, from the same store, at the same place, at the same time, is one of the most consistent designer callouts in 2026 trend analysis. Apartment Therapy's coverage was direct. Designer Dominic Delaney called overly coordinated furniture sets the biggest calling card of a dated living room. The reason this is happening is that matched sets are the easy answer when someone doesn't want to make individual decisions. A furniture salesperson sells the package. Homeowner doesn't have to think about what coordinates with what. Everything arrives at once. That's the appeal. The problem is that the result reads exactly as what it is: a furniture catalog placed into a room, not a space that was actually designed. The shift happening now is toward layered, collected interiors where pieces look like they were acquired over time rather than purchased at one time together. A vintage coffee table next to a contemporary sofa next to a side chair that's clearly from a different decade. The result feels like home rather than hotel lobby. The cost of building this approach is not necessarily higher than buying a matched set. but it requires time and it requires more decision making and it requires, maybe a little bit of a creative side. And if you don't have that, I understand. Number 4, heavy drapery and outdated styles. Curtains are coming back. I'll say that again. They're coming back. That part is real and it's documented across multiple 2026 trend reports, but the version that's coming back is not the version most homeowners are installing. Specifically, we're hearing these called out grommet top curtains, heavy swags, fringe trims, and all types of different fabrics that instantly will date a living room. What's working in 2026 is the opposite of those details. Pleated drapes that start neat at the crown molding and kiss the floor. Roman shades in a solid linen or a simple textured fabric. Drapery that reads as quietly intentional rather than ornate. The hardware, well, it matters too. Slim curtain rods and a finish that complements the room rather than thick decorative rods with finals that pull attention from the window itself. Drapery installation is one of the decisions where a small budget difference produces a significantly better result. Custom pleated drapery in a quality linen runs $400 to $1,200 per window. And that's installed, depending on the size and, what you pick. Off-the-shelf grommet curtains can run you $100 to $300. The off-the-shelf option saves money and immediately costs the room more in how it reads. Before we keep going, let me tell you something real quick. The most expensive mistakes in any renovation, they don't happen during demolition. They don't happen when the tile goes up or when the cabinets get installed. Guys, they happen before any of that. In the conversations that you have before you sign something. When you don't know what questions to ask. Your contractor, he's not going to volunteer those answers. So I put together a free renovation playbook built from over 500 completely pristine luxury projects. It covers exactly what your estimate is missing. The things that show up later as change orders, surprises, or budget overruns that nobody warned you about. Kitchens, bathrooms, living rooms. These are the spaces where most of the money goes and most of the decisions are made. It's completely free. Click the link in my description. Grab it before you talk to someone. Number 5, bold accent walls and shiplap everything. This is the trend I keep removing from existing homes. Designer Emily Sturgis called bold accent walls and shiplap wall coverings some of the worst offending trends that will make your space look like a time warp. And I agree completely. The accent wall in particular, and I've talked about this many times, is a decision that almost never reads the way the homeowner intended. The idea that one wall is a different paint color or a different material will create a visual interest. The reality is it creates visual confusion because the room now has 2 competing color stories rather than one cohesive one. And shiplap, which has had many moments and can be done beautifully, but during the modern farmhouse wave, it had became something that just ran rampant from 2010 to 2020. Walking into a living room with shiplap accent wall in 2026 is exactly like walking into a living room that has wall-to-wall carpet in 1995. You can identify the era in 5 seconds. Now, what's replacing both is a more committed, a more architectural, picture frame molding that wraps the entire room rather than highlighting a single wall. Plaster or lime wash treatments applied across all 4 walls. Wood paneling done in a redefined traditional style that reads historic detail rather than reclaimed barn aesthetic. The investment is similar to what people are spending on one accent wall anyways, or shiplap. The aging curve is fundamentally different. Number 6, the off-limits formal room. This one is about how a room is used, not what's in it. And it's worth calling out because it affects every decision a homeowner makes about the space. The formal living room that's staged for show but never actually gets used is one of the strongest trend signals that a home is dated, even when the furnishings themselves are correct and beautiful. Now, designer Corinne Velasco put it directly. Gone are the days of a formal living room that are only used during the holidays and are off limits for the kids. The data backs this up. Multiple 2026 industry surveys, including NAHB's Best in America Living Awards analysis, are showing builders and designers eliminating formal single-purpose living rooms in favor of flexible multi-use spaces. The contractor argument here is that designing a room to be precious is designing a room to be wasted. A living room with $15,000 worth of furniture that nobody's allowed to actually sit on is not a luxury. It's an expensive showpiece that's contributing nothing to how the home is lived in. The shift happening right now is toward living rooms that are obviously high quality, but obviously usable. Performance fabrics, durable finishes, layouts that work for actual life. That's where the design-conscious market is moving, and that's where buyers are responding. Number 7, the oversized TV wall. This is the one. This is the one I mentioned at the start. The trend that's getting baked into renovations right now and is going to be the most expensive to undo for the last several years. The dominant approach to a living room design has been organize the entire room around a 75 to 85-inch TV mounted on a feature wall with built-in cabinetry, dedicated lighting, and sometimes structural changes to the wall itself to accommodate the size of the screen, the equipment behind it, and all that goes into a custom TV wall. The whole room gets oriented around the TV, furniture placement, lighting design, traffic flow, all of it. But what's happening in 2026 and where we're heading in 2027? The design world is actively moving away from TV-centric living rooms. Multiple designer surveys are now calling out the XXL TV wall as a trend that will look dated quickly. The shift is going towards conversational layouts, is arranged to face other seating rather than a screen with a television either hidden, motorized, or simply de-emphasized in a room's hierarchy. Apartment Therapy's coverage of the 2026 trends specifically asked whether homeowners are trading the couch for a more conversational layout. And guess what? The answer was yes. Here's why this is an expensive one to undo. A built-in TV wall with custom cabinetry, recessed lighting, integrated speakers, structural framing can run you anywhere from $10,000 to $70,000 if installed correctly and depending on your finishes. Removing it, orienting the room around a different focal point, whether that's a fireplace, a window, or a conversational seating arrangement, could run you $20,000 to $50,000 between demo, drywall, repair, electrical. So all these costs of rebuilding whatever the architectural feature is to replace it. The cost of building a trend at the peak and trying to remove it after. So what's the smart play right now? Even if you watch a lot of TV, is to make television part of a room rather than organizing the principle of it. A motorized lift cabinet that hides the TV when not in use. A picture frame mirror that conceals the screen. A conversational seating layout where the TV is on the side wall rather than the visual centerpiece. These are designs and these are decisions that cost slightly more upfront, and they're significantly less to undo when the trend cycle moves past. 7 trends, 1 common thread. Everything on this list is something that looks correct in a photo right now and is already being identified by designers and analysts as something that's going to age fast. The cost to commit to these trends ranges from paint to a full structural rebuild. The cost to undo them runs significantly higher in every category. A living room is the most photographed, most lived in room in most homes. That's a lot of most. The decisions that hold up in it are the ones that are made for both lenses and how it looks now, how it's going to look in 5 years, and when the trend cycle has moved past. Guys, you know I'm in the comment section. Drop a comment and tell me which one of these 7 you have in your living room right now. And would you do it again? Honest answers only. You know I read all these. Let me see what you got to say. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. I like a little back and forth. And don't forget, the Renovation Playbook, it's in the description. Free. Click the button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks for watching. Built by Becker.